Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday the 20th of March 2022. In today's Millwall news, just going to let you know about this game that's coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow lunchtime, 1 o'clock Monday the 21st of March. It's Millwall under 23s away at Wigan under 23s. Now it's being played at Wigan's training ground, Christopher Park. So I'm pretty sure you probably won't be allowed in. But just letting you know it's happening. And Gareth Rowett alluded on Friday, I think it was, or maybe Thursday, that some first team players who are coming back to fitness may be involved in this. Now this is a long way away, travelling all the way up to Wigan for an under 23 game. So which first team player is going to be involved in that? Now it might be Shea Yojo. I mean, he's a Liverpool player. He come through at MK Dons. I imagine he lives up that way or near that way, so he might be a contender to be involved in this game tomorrow lunchtime. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. Around about 12:30, when the team list gets put up on the Millwall's Twitter, who's involved and what's happening. Either or, it's Wigan are not very good at the moment. They are at the bottom of the league, so this should be an opportunity for a winning Millwall result, and it will be interesting tomorrow morning to see what prices the bookies put up for this, and keep an eye on the team that gets put out, and might be able to make yourself a few quid. But please do bet responsibly. So that was it from basically news-wise on this quiet Sunday. But what we do have is stats from yesterday's game, so we're going to get into that now. This is from experimental361.com. It is the XG over the length of the 90 minutes of yesterday's game away at Stoke, and this website gives the XG as 1.3 to Stoke and 1.1 to Millwall. So Stoke massively overperformed, and Millwall kind of underperformed. Probably should have been a 1-1 draw, in all fairness, and it just wasn't. It just was not. It's not a typical trip to Stoke. Not easy for Millwall to get a result. So you can see we didn't have a shot until about the 16th minute, and after we had our first shot, they scored. So not the best, and you can see in the first half, typical slowly we only had 2 shots in the first half. And to be fair, Stoke didn't have that many shots either. You can see after they scored, they didn't have another shot on goal until the second half. A flat line, when the line is flat, that means there hasn't been a shot on goal. When the line goes up, that means there's been not only been a shot on goal, but the higher the line goes up, that means there's a very good chance that was taken. And if it's a circle, as the red circles you can see, that means a goal has been scored. And you can see on the 75th minute, the blue line rockets up straight up. What do you think that is? Well, that's obviously the penalty that was saved. And if that would have went in, that would have been happy days. We could have had a game, and we might have got a draw out of that, but was not to be. And you can see, if you look at the second half, when the second half restarts, Stoke being busy trying to get a goal, trying to make things happen, and then basically with 30 minutes left in the game, they basically kind of give up. don't really have another shot on goal, and that second goal wasn't a shot from them. It was an own goal. It was George Saville heading it into his own net. So that wasn't the best of things, was it? So moving on now to this. This is from infogoal.net, and they give the XG. If you look in the middle where the red FT is, they give it as 1.22 to Stoke and 1.13 to Millwall. So again, suggesting the game probably should have been a 1-1 draw. There's all the match instances there, yellow cards, subs and goals. And what I like on this site is the shot map, the XG shot map. So where were the shots taken on the pitch? And you can see, so that obviously the big blue one is the penalty that was saved, and then you can see Millwall's other shots are not the best of chances. They're very small. The smaller the dot, the lower the quality of the chance. And you can see Stoke actually had a better chance to score. That was Jay Brown on 64 minutes, and that was their best chance on goal. And that wasn't a goal actually. There was the one on 19 minutes with 8% chance. That was the goal. If we look at the first half, so you can see here, 2 shots by Millwall in the first half, Danny Ballard and George Saville. And if you look in the second half, obviously we've already seen Stoke being a bit busier. They do get inside the 6-yard box once, but you can see their other shots are quite small from quite far away and not the best. Whereas Millwall doing a bit more than 2 shots, but not really enough to get going. And the fairness rating was that fair result, a 58.87 out of 100. Suggests maybe not. Suggests maybe it probably should have been a 1-1 draw, but it wasn't. So that's how it goes sometimes. So let's have a look and a bit more detail from WhoScored.com. So what's happened here? So Millwall's strengths: team has no significant strengths. Oh dear. The weaknesses were poor at finishing, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, committed a high number of individual errors. Indeed, individual errors, which led to the first goal. It was in the 6-yard box or just outside. And I'm left scratching my head wondering why Billy Mitchell and George Saville are defending from a corner in the 6-yard box, and all the other players are elsewhere, especially Jake Cooper. I'm wondering, like, now obviously they're doing man to man. If you do man to man, it's easy to manipulate that and get you to get whoever Jake Cooper's marking up. He can just go on a little walkabout, and Jake Cooper probably has to follow him. Might not be the best thing to do. You would imagine that the best thing to do would to tell Jake Cooper to be zonal, and tell everyone else to man mark at corners and set pieces. You would put Jake Cooper on the front post or the front area, because he's 6'5", whatever it is, standing tall, he without jumping. If you stick him on the front, it's got to be a pretty friggin' good ball in to get over him or get around him if he's doing zonal on the front. But for some reason they were doing man to man, and then that left Billy Mitchell and George Saville both jumping for the same ball, but both missing it, and then the Stoke player nicking in and headed it into the goal, which was not ideal. Turning back to this website anyway, if you look here, you can see the highest rated player was the goalkeeper, their goalkeeper, not ours. Probably the penalty save helped massively with that, but there you go. Yeah, so attempts on target, 6 attempts overall. 16 to them, 7 for us. 8 to 3 open play, 6 to 3 set pieces. Yeah, they really work the set pieces on us. 1 to 0 counter attack, 0 to 1 penalty, and of course they got the benefit of an own goal from us. So 16 shots, 2 goals, 12% conversion rate. 7 shots for us, 0 goals, and of course. So here we go. For some reason, we mostly went down the left-hand side, and they mostly went down the right. So kind of cancelled itself out. Shot zones, action zones, player positions. You can see there, they did what a lot of teams do, is they kind of pack the middle forward area. They've basically got a block of four players, 42, 32, 33 and 8, and then they've got a couple wide, 18 and 14, and they've even got 4 backing it up. So okay, yeah, indeed, so there it is. Okay, so let's have a look at the player ratings, or the instances. So if you look at the top by the club badges, you can see the average player rating for each team is 6.92 for Stoke and 6.27 for Millwall, so their players were rated better. Pardon me. Their players were rated better than ours. So George Saville got a massive mark down for that own goal, 5.6. And that was the worst rating for a Millwall player. Not far behind him was Biakowski, 5.7, and then Bury with 5.8. So there you have it. And as we've said, their goalkeeper got man of the match, which is kind of weird because we only had 7 shots. So I doubt. I'm assuming it's just on that penalty save. So we will see. Let's have a look at what happened in the game. So 15 shots to 7, and Bennett and Bury did not have a shot. Millwall shots were spread between Jed Wallace, Saville, Ballard, and Kieftenbeld. Okay. Possession wise, we actually have more possession, which is very unusual. That is very, very unusual. We normally don't do that, especially in an away game, so that's very weird. And player on the ball most for us was Murray Wallace. He had 7.6% of the total match time was just with him on the ball, and then Billy Mitchell. Okay, so pass success percentage quite low for both teams. It was a bit windy of a day, but so here you go. You got Saville with 87. So even though you got high marks there, his low scores presumably due to that own goal, which was a blinding goal. It would have been a decent goal if he scored it at the other end. It wasn't like it was an accident. Like he just stuck out a leg. He leapt like a salmon and headed it into Bart Biakowski's goal. Very surreal to see that happen. Dribble 6 to 11. I'm assuming that's due to them letting us have possession on the ball. Aerials 117 to 22, so we actually won the aerials. Murray Wallace with 9. That's pretty decent, isn't it? But you can see here for them, everyone, they're starting at 11 except for 3 players won the aerial. Tackles 15 to 15, so pretty even there. Okay, corners with only 4 to 4. So they had 4 corners and they scored with one of them set up a goal. We had 4 corners and yeah, not much going on. Dispossessed, basically having the ball taken off for you. 6 and 6, so that's not good for Saror as well. So let's have a look now at more detail of player ratings. So their goalkeeper just getting ahead of the goal scorer, which suggests this website reckons that saving that penalty was probably more important than scoring that goal. But there you have it. Unless the lad getting the yellow cards knocked him down in the score. But yeah, they're goalkeeper man of the match. So let's have a look at Millwall's players. 7 points. So only one player in 7s. Murray Wallace again. To be honest with you, I'm strongly suggesting Murray Wallace for player of the season. We've got about 8 or 9 games to go, and I think you can see that game wasn't the best of games, but Murray Wallace again did very well. Won 9 aerials, had 86 touches, which looks like it's the most. Yeah, so he had the most touches on the ball, and he got the highest rating. Yeah, so Murray Wallace, another decent performance to add to his selection of decent performances throughout the season, which could add up to a player of the season vote. So looking at the subs, so another thing I like to look at is when the subs come on, what score do they get? Do they get a higher score than the player they replaced? So you got Kieftenbeld coming on. He got a higher score than Bury, but Malone came on at the same time. So you could argue he did. Oh no, this is out of order. Let's fix that. So yeah, Bury not doing too well there, 5.81. And both of the players who came on 61 minutes got a higher score than him. And but Shea Yojo not really doing enough to get above Mason Bennett. And the reason why this is significant, because when a player comes off the subs bench, he has less time on the pitch. So Kieftenbeld had about 30 minutes on the pitch, and in the 30 minutes he's been on the pitch, he's managed to do enough to get a score of 5.96, whereas Tyler Bury was on the pitch for 61 minutes and he only did enough to get a score of 5.81. So Mikael Kieftenbeld's got a higher score than the player he replaced, which is suggests that was a good substitution to make, and maybe the manager might have been on something to something to be doing that. Let's have a look at not this shit again. Okay, for some reason this is gone a bit screwy, so let's see if it's doing it for these as well. Yeah, for some reason it's gone a bit screwy, so we're just gonna have to pull out shots. So we've had the 7 shots in. Here you go. These are the players who had them. Again, none Mason or Tyler didn't have a shot, but only 2 shots on target. Danny Ballard and Jed Wallace, which was the penalty. So again, our, what would you call it, powder puff attack, not really producing anything going forward, and it kind of messed us up that we struggled to keep the clean sheet against Stoke, who managed to set pieces very well. And like I said, it kind of confuses me why Jake Cooper isn't played zonal on the front post or in the front area to block anything, to be the first port of call, to block anything coming in. But they want to do man marking, getting marking the biggest threat or whatever. That's fine, but the ball, if the ball doesn't get to the player's not going to do anything anyways. So it's kind of a bit of an ongoing thing, zonal marking or man marking, and I don't know, it was just really weird seeing Billy Mitchell and Jules Saville on the 6-yard box as the first port of call against a corner coming in, and they both jumped for it and they got done, and we conceded the first goal in 8 hours, 7 hours, whatever, of football. Yeah, just when you do man marking, and like I said, the geezers you're marking can just take you on a walk about, just make you go over here, there, and everywhere, and it acts as a decoy. And if you're not wise to that, if you're not sharp to that, and you think, hang on, why am I following this guy 18 yards over to the back post? Like, don't do that. And like, yeah, seriously, Jay Cooper should be on the front, always on the front post. He should be zonal marking, and everyone else can be man marking. I mean, he's the tallest player in the pitch. If he's standing on the front post, there's got to be some kind of shot to get over him or around him. But yeah, it is what it is. It's an away day at Stoke. I showed you in Friday's video how poor our record is up there. It's if you're a Millwall fan and you've been to Stoke to see us win, then you're probably one of the lucky ones, because we don't really do that often. And I was kind of hoping worst case scenario it would be a 1-1 draw, and it could have been a 1-1 draw without George Saville's own goal and with that penalty being scored. But it just wasn't to be. It just wasn't. We didn't have the mojo. We didn't have the things working for us. And maybe after the efforts against Huddersfield, the players were a bit drained, a bit gassed out, or maybe they've been liking the smell of their own farts. They think they're the bee's knees, and that's not a situation you want to get involved in. So back down to earth, got knocked back down to earth, and now we go on to the next game after the international break. So hopefully Danny Ballard and George Saville can come through that pretty untouched and fit and raring to go, and then we'll resume our onward march to the end of season tournament. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.